lying flat down. All right, here we go. So lie flat on your back. Have your towel or your belt near you. We'll need it in a moment. For now, just lie in a Shavasana pose and add some deep breaths. Inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's flex the feet and make fists on the inhale, so tense the body. And relax it, exhale. Again. Notice that tension, relaxation. Squeeze, inhale. And release, exhale. One more. Good, now slide your right foot over to the right. If you want to block under your pelvis, you can do that. The right foot right, cross your left ankle on top of right ankle. As far as you can go to the side, reach overhead, grab your left wrist, and also pull it to the right. You can even bend your upper body a little to the right so you look like a banana. And take 5 breaths. So generally in yoga, we breathe out through the nose as well. But if you once in a while want to do a fallout breath, which is exhale through the mouth to release some excess energy, that's perfectly fine. About one more. Good. You can briefly release your hands down and now slide your feet to the left. Left ankle crosses over. I'm sorry, right ankle, of course, crosses over. Grab your right wrist and pull everything to the left. 5 breaths. Good. After about 5, come back to center and bend your right knee to your chest. Pull it to the right armpit, that knee. Good. Now hold down behind your right leg, extend that leg up. Option, if you have tight hamstrings today, just bend and straighten the knee a few times. Option 2, climb your hands up the leg, pull that leg toward you. Finish your breath here and then come back down. Lying down pigeon, step your left foot on the ground, cross your right ankle over, and let's pull that left knee in. Flex both feet. And remember, there's an external, meaning outward rotation of the right thigh, so don't let it collapse to your shoulder. Tune in to the feeling of being in your body right now. Good. Release your legs flat to the ground. Inhale. And bend your left knee and exhale. Pull it in a few times. Lubricating that hip joint. And then pick your option for the hamstring stretch. Leg moves up and down, or climb up the leg. On your next exhale, release everything down, and we go into lying down pigeon. Left ankle crosses over right thigh, and pull your right knee in. Same cues again, flexing the feet and pressing the knee out. And release. Step your feet up to the mat. Separate them wide apart. Arms stretch out to the sides. And windshield wiper your knees. Just keep that nice rhythm of the breathing. Everyone's rhythm is different, so follow yours, please. Go back to center, step your feet together and palms down now. Pick up your knees and drop the knees to the right on an exhale. You need to turn your head to the left. Come back to center. Notice your shins are parallel to the floor more or less, and your knees are not pulled in all the way to the belly. The thighs are kind of perpendicular with the floor. Go to the other side now. Head can turn right here. Good. Bring it back up. And any way you can, rocking, maybe come up to seated. Go into a cross-legged position. Let's cross the right shin in front of the left. Good. Roll the shoulders a few times. Just going to adjust the camera a little bit, so make big circles with your shoulders. Good. Release and sink your right ear to your right shoulder. You can reach your left arm away from you. Think of really lengthening the elbow away from the shoulder. Some people like to gently hold on to the left side of the head. And switch. One more. Good. Try to, so if the following doesn't work, just stay in the seated position. But if you can, swing both feet to the left. So your left shin is kind of resting on your right arch. Left shin on right arch, and your knees collapse right. And then we turn into a twist to your right. It actually feels better to twist to the right versus to the left. That's where we're going. Go with the right shoulder. Good. Come back to center, swing your feet to the right, knees go left, and twist left. Good. Unwind. Come one more time to a cross-legged position. This time left shin in front of your right shin. Good. Arms sweep out and up on an inhale. Clasp your hands, either just clasp or turn your wrists inside out and just sway side to side. Pause at the center, inhale. Separate your hands and fold forward. Come back to center. Step your hands behind you. Your fingertips can turn back, or I'm going to do this on the fists. You can put your feet in front of you and then lift up your hips. Think of this being a stretch for your shoulders, the front shoulders, the chest, and maybe the bicep muscles. One more breath. Good. Release down. Step the soles of your feet together, but slide your feet forward a little bit and sink forward into forward bend. Spend about 5 breaths here. Good, and then let's rise up and move on to all fours. Once you're here on all fours, begin to arch and round your spine. Draw the core up and in when you round. By next time, pause and come back to neutral spine. And we're going to stretch the right leg back. And just do the leg for now. We'll add the arm if the leg works well. Begin to make circles, round circles with your right leg. So think of drawing O's with your right toes. If that works really well and you feel coordinated, lift your left arm forward and add the circles with the same direction with the arm. Have fun with this. You're likely wobbly here. That's normal. A lot for the brain to put that all together into action. Let's reverse at some point. Good, and then release back to all fours. Left leg back, right arm up, not the arm yet. Begin to make circles with your leg. Really tune into the body, let the brain quiet down. This feels pretty steady. Extend your right arm and tune in with the circles. Reverse the circles. Good. Release and child's pose. Wide knees, sit back to the heels and surrender your head and chest forward. Good. Now slide forward onto your belly. Be on the forearms in a Sphinx pose. Press the pubis into the floor. Lift and lower your chin a few times like a big knot. One more. Good. And now lie flat onto the stomach. Stretch your arms out in front of you. They don't have to be together, just about shoulder width. The feet just about hip width. Just pause the head to one side for a moment. Breathe. Feel how your hips are naturally square against the floor because the floor is hard underneath you. Try to keep them as square as you can. And now raise your head and chest just a little. Raise your right leg and left arm. See if your right hip flew off the floor. If you can, keep that right front hip point here on the ground. And release. Switch sides. And release. Turn your head to the right, grab your right ankle for a quad stretch. Switch. And release. Press up to all fours. The following can be done from all fours or from child's pose. So if you're doing it from child's pose, bring your knees somewhat wide as maybe the shoulders. And now to the right, your left arm as far over. So don't just go to the center, slide that hand way over to the right, left hand right, and lower that left shoulder down. So you're in a twist. And if you want to do it in all fours, you're just having your bum higher, that's all. In both cases, lean your hips to the left a little. You can even pin down your right hands down onto the left. Whole body leans to the left a little. One more breath. Good, unwind and switch. From all fours or child's pose, right arm slides way over to the left. Lay that right shoulder on the floor and the head. Hips lean right. At some point, unwind. Come to all fours, and we're going to step the left foot forward into a lunge. So keep the weight in front of the heel and just sink your hips down and forward. So those of you who are very sharp on that right knee, slide your knee back as much as you can. You're at your own house, so if you need a pillow or anything under the right knee, that's perfectly fine. Just grab one. The idea here is to just keep your fingers or palms on the floor and sink the hips forward. Good. Release and just simply switch. Right foot forward. Sink the weight into the front foot. Hips down. Good. This time come back into a downward dog. I'll do it on the forearms. You can certainly do the regular version on the hands. Try it out. Make sure your tailbone isn't tucked under. Really lift your tail to the ceiling and pedal. So it's a little hard to do this from the elbows, but I want you to walk your hands to the feet. You might be able to do it, or you have to drop to the knees again. But we'll all end up in a standing forward bend. Soft behind the knees, just bring your upper body down. Breathe deeply. Good, come rolling up to standing now. Roll the shoulders a few times. All right, now we're stepping to the front of our mat. Feet hip width apart. Take a moment to stack your skeleton, hips over knees, knees over ankles. Place your left foot back into a warrior one. And what I want you to really focus on today is I want you to scoop your belly button up and drive your tailbone down, and then bend your front knee. It's easy to just arch your butt back and lunge forward. So let's not do that. Arms sweep up. Get nice and broad in the side body here, using your lats to lift your arms. And then open to warrior two right away. So widen your stance. Think of your torso sitting right in the middle of your feet. So we're not leaning excessively forward. This is an upward energy, stretching that left groin area. Take a quick look at your right knee. If you feel like it's collapsing inward, you want to rotate that right knee out and the left hip behind you into the navel center a little. Now breathe. Now turn your right palm open. Reach that arm to the ceiling. Option one. Option two, bring your right hand to the nape of your neck. Grab the right elbow with your left hand and pull into a little side bend to the left. Good. Release and take a huge step forward to the front of the mat. Mountain pose. Step your right foot back, warrior one. Sweep the arms forward, remember the little scoop of the belly. Your job is to breathe, even if your body is shaky or feels weak, just do what you can. One more breath here. Find it calm. And now open to warrior two. Feel that upward energy in the spine. Now turn your left palm open. Take the left hand to the back of the neck. Grab the elbow with the right hand and pull yourself into a back bend, side bend. Back to warrior two, big inhale. And step forward, exhale. Take a breath. Notice it's easier to get that oxygen into the body now, breathing. Now I'll face you for the next one and I'll probably come forward a little. I want you to think tree into triangle. So stand on your right leg, but instead of doing tree, which of course you can do, you can try half lotus. So you're just taking your right hand and cradling your left foot with it, crossing the ankle over the thigh. You can raise one or both hands. Good. Now step that left foot down. So you're back in mountain pose and right foot steps back behind you for triangle. So you stood on the right foot for your tree. Now the right foot is back behind you, arms out. Reach forward over the left foot and lower that hand down. You want to do reset, right hand down the left ankle and sweep it back up. Do that a couple times. Inhale, rise up. And once again, take a giant step forward to your mountain pose at the front of your mat. Breathe, relax. Now, standing on that left foot to do your tree, the same version that you did on the first side. Feel the breath pretty loud, so you want to breathe into the back of your throat. Gentle focus. And now softly step your right foot down. Left foot steps back for your triangle. You all know the alignment by now. Reach forward and lower down. Going to the reset. Left hand comes down a couple times. Relax into the effort here. And rise up. This time we're not going to step forward unless you're facing away from the camera. Face to the camera so you can see what's going on. Take your feet wide, maybe as wide as one length of your legs. Good. We're turning both feet out. So heels in, toes out, knees pivot out. I want you to use your butt cheeks to pivot, push your knees out. If this stance keeps you collapsing in on the knees, find a better stance that works for you, okay? But the idea is, this is a goddess pose or double warrior. The idea really is that you're as wide as possible, okay? Good. Before we go down, swing your right arm under the left and then sit down. So we have those eagle arm that bind. Press your knees apart and lift your elbows up. 5 breaths. Good. After 5, stand up. Swing your left arm on the right. Inhale and sit back down. Exhale. Elbows pressed up. 5 breaths. When you're done, come up, release your hands to the sides. Roll the shoulders, breathe. Good, we got one more variation here for our goddess. When you're ready, sit back down. Do what you can. You can also just have the hands at the heart. Do your version. Otherwise, arms out with a soft elbow. And now go side to side. For one breath, stay right forearm to right thigh. Then switch. So once you arrive, take one breath. We'll do 3 rounds total. You should feel this in your glutes and your thighs by now. Maybe one more round if you're not there yet. This can be cardio even though you're not moving a lot. This is my 3 rounds here. I don't know where you are, but after about 3 rounds, stand up. Turn your toes in, heels out, and fold forward. first lower to the knees. So come out of this pose entirely and go to all fours if you don't want to do the direct transition into lizard. Now, however, if you're still in forward bend like me, turn your right foot to the right, walk your hands to the inside of that right foot, and lower the back knee down. We're not trying to have a bunch of weight on the back knee, so slide that knee back, sink your hips down, and you might notice that if the knee bothers you, pick up the knee, tuck your toes and lift the knee an inch. You can go on the forearms, like that. Good, and at some point switch. Those of you who have vinyasas, go to down dog. At some point shift to a plank and do your lowering down. Up, dog, down dog, and then back to lizard on the left. Good. After lizard, if you just got there, stay another breath. Otherwise, come up and go into a quick child's pose. Good. So I want to do a prayer twist lunge. I'm demoing it on the left side. So let's start with the left foot, just so I'll face to you. Step your left foot forward. Hands to the front thigh. And the back toes, they're already tucked in anticipation to pick up that knee. Now rotate on an exhale. Right elbow across left thigh. Palms touch. Now wind your abdominals to the left. If you want, think of a straight line from the top of your head to the back heel. If you want, pick up your back knee. So I like to lean my chest forward and then lift the back knee. One more breath. Good. Release fingertips to the floor. Hop your back foot halfway forward and come into a pyramid pose. If that's not working for you, be on the back knee like I'm showing here in a half split. So I'm going back to pyramid, but rather than half split, pick your option and breathe. Carefully come back to all fours. You can do everything from down dog if you want. Step your right foot forwards first for your twist. I'm already tucking my back toes. You have an exhale to wrap to the right. Maybe pick up the back knee. One more. Good. Pyramid pose. Back foot steps halfway in, the knee drops and fold. Good. And this time, let's lower down and come onto the knees and shins for our hero pose. If you don't do hero, please lay on your belly again and grab your ankles behind you. Otherwise, sit on the block or whatever you got. Put the ankles to the sides of your prop. Scoot the butt forward a little. Good. And when you're done, come out. And we're going to sit, come to a seated position. Extend your legs out in front of you and shake it out. Good. We will step the left foot to the right inner thigh, but we'll make it a twist since this is the twisting section. So instead of just folding forward, I want you to raise your left arm, reach it forward toward the right ankle, and now wrap your right arm around your low back. And see, my hand comes around and tries to grab the left inner thigh. Maybe you grab your shirt, whatever you've got. And then look over the right shoulder. Good. Unwind and switch the leg position. Raise your right arm and reach forward to grab the left foot or ankle. Wrap your left arm around your back now and look over the left shoulder. Good. Unwind. And let's bring the legs slightly apart, slightly wider apart. Take your left foot in again, but this time I want you to bend your right knee a little. This is more about the back, the upper back muscles to stretch or whatever will stretch in this pose. Sweep your arms up, clasp at the top. And on the next level, I want you to curl your chin in, draw your chest in and make a really puffy upper back. So your forehead might end up on the knee, and your hands might be clasping around the foot or the ankle. Come back up, release your hands down, and switch. Bend your knee a little, inhale, sweep up. Curl in, draw the core in. Good, come back up, release your hands down. Extend both legs out, now go a little bit wider. You can, as usual, sit on a block or just fold in. Lean forward. And those of you who have a bolster, you can lay it in front of you and see if you can put your body on it. Or if you have a block, you can use it for your forehead. Good, and come up. We're going to shake out the legs for a moment and enter into our hip stretch section. So I want to do cow face today. I'm just going to do it from seated here. So you all probably know the pose, cross right knee over left. Some of you do this from all fours. What you want to pay attention to is your bottom knee needs to move as far to the right as possible so that you then can stack your right knee on top so that your knees are more or less in the center. Just let the sitting bones become heavy, let your butt sink down, feel any stretching already. You should technically flex your feet and just firm the outer edges of your feet into the floor. Tune into the body. And if you want to fold in, you can. Good. Come back up. Now keep your legs bound like this and extend your left leg forward. So we're in half cow face. If at this point you need to release, you could put the foot to the inner thigh for Jano. Otherwise, stay in your half cow face and fold in. So now the left leg is completely straight because of the weight of the right leg on it. You should get a nice stretch here. All right, release, shake out your legs. Let's do cow face on the left. So right knee under, left knee on top. And remember all the cues with the foot flexing. And just before you even fold, just settle in for a moment. Notice the body automatically wants to sit more on the right side, so just invite the left hip to become heavy. And eventually fold in. Good. Come up. When you're done, extend your right leg out. Adjust your left leg as you did in the first round, and let's fold in. The more you flex your foot, the more your calf is affected. Last deep breath here. And let's rise up. And from here, we lie on the back. Lie on the back and just pause for a moment. Shoulder stand you can do if you don't have any eye problems like glaucoma or uncontrolled high blood pressure. So shoulder stand, you want to bring your arms really close to the side body and then swing your feet up. Now, for me, I'll show the variation. You can put the block under the hips and extend your legs up. Really, you can extend your legs and your arms up. If you're in full shoulder stand, you can do one-legged plow or full plow. Make sure you do not put weight on your neck. Your shoulder blades and the tops of your shoulders carry the weight as well as your upper arms. Your neck should really be free floating. Nothing touches the floor, only the back of your head and, like I said, the shoulders. If you feel any burning or pinching ever in this pose, that's not a good pose for you then. About 3 more breaths if you can stay up. If you're not on the block, just roll out. If you're on the block, slowly lower your legs to the floor so your hips are still raised on the block, getting a little thigh and front hip stretch here, and breathe, 3 breaths. All right, when you're ready to move on to fish position, you can again use your block or put your hands palms down, palms up next to the butt. Press into your elbows, lift your chest up, and then let your head hang back. And when you're done, lie flat. Roll your head side to side. Good. If you do have a block, you can put it between your thighs now for our bridge, any way that feels natural today. And lift up into bridge pose. I'm not doing any variations unless you choose to do one. Breathe and observe. Squeeze your glutes, press them up. Your pubis rotates up to the ceiling. Your hips pull forward toward the knees a little bit. One more breath, pressing up. Squeeze that block if you have it. And lower down. Drop your knees apart, soles of the feet kiss. You can do snow angel movements with your arms or grab your belt at this point and stretch. Hold it with both hands and stretch your arms overhead several times. Go ahead and release your belt. Bring your knees up and into the chest, rock side to side. And from here, happy baby pose. And release your legs down. Good. I want to combine the final twist with what we usually do with our leg stretches. So turn to your right side. And if you're turning onto your left so you can see the camera, you just have to modify what I'm saying. Now, use the belt if you need. Take your left foot and bring it over to the right side. Again, use your belt if you want. So I'm lying on my right hip, my left leg is crossed over my body, my left foot is actually on the floor. And when you're ready and you're holding on with your right hand, sweep the left arm to the left into a twist. If that's not working for you, do it the way we usually do it, rather than lying on the side. Good. When you're ready, release, come out of that way. Roll onto your left side. Stretch your right leg across the body. Hold on with the belt or the left hand and sweep the right arm over to the right. And that's done. Come back to center, and maybe one more time, squeeze your knees in, from side to side. If you want to get some music going for Shavasana, you can set that up now. And really do your Shavasana for yourself. No one can even see you. Just do it for your own calm and relaxed energy. You want to really cultivate that, not just now when times are a little more difficult, but really always. Sometimes we have no idea we're a little stressed or a little distracted or agitated. But when we, like right now, lay into our Shavasana pose, after having opened all the energy channels with yoga, maybe just begin to feel that need to drop deeper into the body. Try not to move your body right now. Feel the energy in your face, around your eyes and forehead. Like a point of light on your forehead. That light expanding across the face into the brain. Imagine another point of light on the center of your chest. Feel that light expand across the chest into the arms, penetrating all the organs in your belly. Imagine another point of light below the navel, above your pubis, in your sacral area. That light just nurturing all your lower organs, the colon, the sexual organs, all the way down your legs and toes. for 2 minutes now. Enjoy that healing light throughout your body, expanding, illuminating, healing. Deepen your next breath. Wiggle fingers and toes. Reawaken the body. And then stretch your arms overhead, long legs. Release your hands down and bend your knees and give yourself a hug around your shins. Roll all the way to one side into a side sleeper pose. And sit up. With an attitude of gratitude, place your hands at the heart center. Maybe if you want to practice gratitude and you kind of draw a blank, think the words, thank you. Namaste.